Hey guys, we're in Telechart, and I just want to show you something. I want to show you an observation that I had, and I just got off the phone with Tanner talking about it. Um, Yesterday, I was in three plays, and one of them started turning south on me, so I got out of it and try to minimize those losses. The second one started to turn south on me, so I got out of it to try to minimize those losses. And then the third stock, I started seeing these really two big heavy hitters that were, dumping 30,000 shares, buying 30,000 shares, and then somebody else would sell 30,000 shares to offset it. And they were just duking it out back and forth. And I'm like, I can't stick around to see who's going to win this. And, part of what we do is to try to minimize our losses, right, when we see those about to happen. So I bailed on it. So I got out of all three. And then I was frustrated because I'm like, am I ever going to make money at this? Why is the market fighting every single thing that I've been doing? And then I noticed something this morning, and it kind of gave me a little hope as to maybe why I got out the market was because somebody was looking after me on my behalf. So you're looking at the S&P 500. These are our trend lines that we've drawn. This is our top layer, top trend line of resistance that we've drawn. You see it goes across those peaks for the S&P 500. We've also got a trend line on the bottom that goes all the way back. Okay, we would call this an anomaly. We thought we were going to get that kiss goodbye thing that we've talked about before, but it goes and intersects with this. That wavy blue line right here is our 50-day moving average. It tends to follow that. When it hits the 50-day moving average, it always just usually bounces up. And this is our trend line. And here we are in the last, 2 weeks, okay? And you could see it's just kind of hung out right there. Well, I noticed something today. Now, this is a collection of 500 stocks. But if this were one stock, let me show you something. I'm going to draw a new trend line. Grab my trend line tool. I'm just going to go here and click right here, and I'm going to go across these 2 points. Okay. All right. Those form like a tabletop. Now, usually, let me just go ahead and draw another trend line. Let's go all the way back. Oops. There we go. All the way up to this point. So I just mildly intersect here. I touch it here. I touch it here the day before yesterday. And notice how these form a wedge, okay? This is what we would typically call, if this was a single stop, consolidation. And what you would see is you're like, I can't get past this point. I'm going to try to get past it. Still can't get past it. I'm going to try to get past it again. I still can't get past it. And meanwhile, the valleys get shorter and shorter and shorter until it consolidates to a point. And then when you see this pattern, it always breaks down. It turns into a downtrending stock. When you see the opposite of this happen, when you can draw a straight line across the bottom and that is descending from the top, it always breaks out and goes up. Well, I don't know. I'm a novice at this. I don't know if that applies to the S&P 500 and the overall market in general. But when I see something like this on a single stock, I prepare myself to see that turn into a downtrending stock. And it always, like 90% of the time, it turns to a downtrending stock. I'm wondering, is this are we at our turning point? Are we actually going to see it actually turn into a bear market? Now, understand, it would have to break down, go below this line of resistance, come back up to it and kiss it, and then go down from that point out and become that kiss goodbye that we talked about on, that previous thing. This is scary to me. Now I don't feel bad about getting out. Especially yesterday, and actually losing. I'm actually in the hole $150 since I've tried to get this thing started. Maybe somebody was looking out for me on my behalf. It could be that by Friday, we're going to bounce down. Now, will we bounce down enough to go past our 50-day moving average and turn into a bear market? I don't know. Okay. I do know that if we go back in time here, we tried to do that once before and it just didn't stick. Usually it would go below the 50-day moving average. It would come back. It would kiss it. I'll zoom in a little bit. It would kiss it, and then it would go down from that point. Instead, we went on back through it, and we went back through it on heavy volume. Look how long that candle is. We haven't done that in forever. Usually when you get a kiss goodbye, sometimes you'll see that 2 or 3 times. Well, I'm thinking this consolidation across the top means that we're knocking on the door of a bear market. We at least are going to see a gap down to, not a gap, but a descending line down to our 50-day moving average. But we haven't seen this in the S&P 500 in a long time. And look, that's at the 1850 mark. Numbers tend to mean things to traders, especially those big boys. Our previous high before would have been like 1800. Or have they decided that 1850 is going to be the new high? Well, I do know this. It hasn't been able to get above that, and we got bad news today before we open. I don't know. I think it's time. If I was going to just play a hunch, my hunch is we're here at the bear market. This is our first telltale sign. The next will be our kiss goodbye. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not making a prediction. I don't know enough about this. But if I see this on a single stock, it usually means it turns into a downtrending stock. So if I'm going to play my hunches, I think the S&P 500 is about to start a downtrend, which is fine. We need a correction. I guess we'll see if this is finally it.